Good morning my dear friends. In the last video of drainage pipe system, we discuss about location of holding tank, like where to place the tank, ground level or cover level, then invert level of the pipelines, then purpose of gully trap, then different cases of drainage pipe connection from building to manhole and which one is acceptable. Then we discuss about the pipe slope requirement as per IPC and how to find out the slope, correct slope like that. So in this video, we will see what problem will come if we don't design the holding tank correctly. So if you have not watched the previous drainage system video, please watch that one first. I have given the link in the description. In this site office project, we have manuals for collection at each building block. So here all our connections are going to the holding tank. So in this project I propose holding tank, but normally what happen, most of the time I see the people get confused between the holding tank and septic tank, actually saying both are different. So let me explain this concept very quickly and then we will continue our next discussion. So in this image, if you see here, the sewer water and the waste water which is discharged to the holding tank, here only inlet is available in the holding tank and there is no outlet is available. Okay, so what happened here is the holding tank water is removed by using the tanker, septic tank tanker will come and it will take the water from here. Okay, so there will not be any outlet and also there is no partition wall like this. You can see in the normally you see in the septic tank. So we don't have any arrangement here to segregate the water and solid material which is collected. So only the tanker will come and it will take the water from the holding tank. So this is the holding tank concept. So when it comes to the septic tank, again the sewer and wastewater is discharged to the septic tank. It has a inlet baffle wall, outlet baffle wall. We have a partition wall. So in this septic tank, the water is treated. That means the solid particles goes to the downside and the scum reaches the top layer and only the liquid which is going to the outside. So after this treatment, it is going to the municipality to connect with the existing line. Otherwise, it is discharged. Okay, discharge means it will be collected in the drain pit. Okay, so there is a big difference between the holding tank and septic tank. Septic tank the treatment is done, holding tank the treatment is not done. So here I am not going to explain very detail about the working principle of these two. We are concentrating only the design and the installation here. So if you want to know the how to design the septic tank and this thing, so please refer my old video which I already posted in my YouTube channel. So coming to the calculation, based on my design, I got the total holding tank size as 42 meter cube. So now I want to see what is the total effective water volume height. So I assumed here 1.5 meter. This one you can finalize like 1 meter, 2 meter, 2.5 meter based on the water table. Suppose in your area, if you dig 2 or 3 meter in the ground and if you are receiving water means, so you cannot go to that much depth. So you have to reduce the height and you have to increase the length and weight. In my project I don't have that type of issue. I have high water table, but however I consider 1.5 meter as a minimum. Okay, height. So here what happens, so the tank area is for volume 42 meter cube divided by 1.5 meter, it is 28 meter square. So this is the area, and based on the client project specification requirement, 4 meter minimum distance I should keep between the water tank and septic tank. So here, so we have holding tank, we have septic tank and generator. All these are located in the same area. So as per client instruction, so this should be minimum 4 meter gap should be maintained. So for the safe side, I consider 5 meter gap between these two tanks. So coming back to the calculation, I got the area. So I divided by 7. I consider the length as 7. So I can maintain the gap of 5 meter gap between holding and tank and water tank. So I got the width of 4 meters. So finally the effective water volume of holding tank is 7 meter. That is the length here, and width is 4 meter. That is here, and the total height which I assumed is 1.5 meter, which is here. So finally, is this correct to size the holding tank? That is the question here. Whatever we did so far is correct, but if I stop with this point, then it is wrong. So sometime you might have seen that a designer will size a holding tank or septic tank for 3 days holding capacity, but the tank will fill very fast in 1 day. That is because of the design issue which we are going to see now, and how we will see how to correct that one. Here we have the manhole 6, which is the last manhole connecting with this holding tank. So what I am going to do, I am going to explain you two different conditions, the correct one and the wrong one. Then you will understand which one you have to do. So here in the first case one, as I shown here, manhole 062 the holding tank connection, and here the pipe size is 160 mm, the slope is 1% slope, and the distance between these two is 11.48. So here the cover level and invert level, and if you minus cover level minus invert level, it will be depth. Okay, so now, so from the finished level, and I mark the depth, that is 1.3670 from here. Similar way for the holding tank, the depth is 1.452, that one also I marked here for the pipe, and that means the incoming pipe. And you know, as per the calculation we received we assumed like 1.5 meter depth. Okay, so here what will happen, this pipe depth is 1.452 and the holding tank depth I assumed is 1.5 meter. So if you reduce this 1.452 from 1.5 meter, you will get only 48 mm gap between the top of the bottom of the pipe to the top of the holding tank. Okay, so the space is not sufficient to hold all this water, sewer water. And finally, this installation is not acceptable. So let's see what is correct one. So coming to case 2, so at manhole number 6, the depth is 1.367 meter. I consider the same 1.367 meter depth from the finished ground level. After the pipe slope from here to this point to the holding tank, what happened here? And here the depth is 1.452. The same one I followed here, 1.452 meter depth. And further to this one, so if you see here, I assumed 1.5 meter effective water depth. It's not the tank depth. I assumed the effective water depth 1.5 meter. So what I did here is additionally this 1.452 with this depth, that effective water depth 1.5 meter I consider to size the holding tank height. Now in this case what will happen, the water from this point will go to this holding tank from here to here. So this place I have effective water volume, and above this place it will be acting like a freeboard. Okay, so this is the correct way to size the holding tank height mainly. Suppose you assume that the same pipe but with a higher slope, means the pipe is still this point. That means what you have to do is, now you assume the height is 1.5 meter, means from this point you have to go 1.5 meter higher. Okay, and above this point till the finished ground level, up to this point, this is the finished ground level. So up to this point, finished ground level, all this space will be a freeboard spaces. Okay, you can see that, okay, this height is very high, why should I leave this space like this? But this is the correct way of installation, because you are assuming the water height, effective water height, which is going down. The above you are making the places empty, because the pipe has to make the slope from the starting to the end. So we have to have this spaces, free spaces, that is for the freeboard. So I hope this concept is clear. So we will move to the next discussion. So when it comes to holding tank sizing, as per International Plumbing Code chapter number 7, by default they have given the holding tank sizes. For example, based on number of bedrooms in a single or two family houses, we can follow this table to size the holding tank. But if you ask me, I will not follow these sizes blindly. I have explained the correct way to design the holding tank as a septic tank in my earlier video. So I have given this link also in the description. But if you follow this one as per the International Plumbing Code, this is also correct. But my recommendation is you follow my last video for clear tank sizing. Here for example, if you have 4 bedroom, then the holding tank size is directly 2500 gallon. So the next one is, this is for other building. For example, other buildings will have a minimum of 5-day holding capacity, but not less than 2000 gallon. That's the minimum capacity. Okay. For example, if you see here, dance hall per person we need 3 gallon. For example, if you have 100 people in a dance hall capacity, then you have to consider 100 into 3, 300 gallon holding tank. And the important thing is, holding tanks shall be located 20 feet from any part of the building. And size of this vent pipe should be 2 inch and the height should be minimum 12 inch. So finally, I will close this video with an interesting question. Can I use septic tank as holding tank? Yeah, if a septic tank is used as a holding tank, the outlet must be sealed. Okay, removal of the inlet and outlet baffle is not prohibited and it can be removed. That means if you see here, this is the septic tank and we have the inlet here and we have the outlet here. So what they are telling, if you are using this septic tank as holding tank, you have to provide the seal in the outlet pipe. Okay, so it should not flow from this tank to the outside. So we have to have the seal here. And second thing, you can remove this inlet baffle and outlet baffle. Okay, there is no rule you can keep still this baffle. You can remove simply so that the water will directly discharge to the holding tank. Okay, I mean the septic tank is acting as a holding tank in this case. So thank you for watching the video. So if you like this video, please don't forget to press the like button. We will again meet you with another interesting topic. So till then, bye bye, see you.